Hey, hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I hope you're all doing well. I am back again for another live. I'm actually going to do a start to finish painting with all of you today. So I hope you're going to sit back and enjoy, and hopefully, you will be inspired to pull out your own paints and pull out your canvas and maybe give this a try for yourself. Um, so I decided I would do a nice little floral in a little vase for you today. So come on in, say hello when you get here. I see you guys coming in. Let me know where you're coming in from, and let me know if you yourself have tried painting florals and have you had any luck with it. I will tell you guys, I am going live through StreamYard, so you will need to give StreamYard permission so that I can see your name. All you need to do is go up to the description and just click that little link, and it just gives approval so that I can see your name when you comment. And I would love for each and every one of you to please comment. So if you're brand new here, my name's Kelly Weiler, and this is Girl Upcycled Studio, located in Zanesville, Ohio. And I also have a very, very special art group where I spend much of my time. It is an online art group called the Creators Club. And tonight is the very last day to get in, the last night to get in, that is. Doors close tonight. So if you're on the fence, please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have questions. And I will be talking to you all a little bit about the Creators Club and all the goodness we have going on inside there throughout our painting session today. So say hello, everybody. Don't be shy. Say hello. Amy from Indiana is here. Mama Bear Blue. I am considering the Creators Club. I am so excited. I hope I see you in there, Amy. If you have any questions about it, just put it in the comment section. I'm happy to answer any of the questions. First off, there are no long-term commitments. My goal and my hope is that you come in, you love it, and you learn a lot, and you fall in love with the members, and then you want to stay. So there's no long-term year commitment. You don't have to pay in advance. It's just a pay-as-you-go monthly subscription fee. All right. So I am going to go ahead and get started on this. And I'm going to be using a couple of different products. I use a lot of different products in my Creators Club. So we do go over a lot of different mediums and materials and things like that. But today I am just going to use a color called Kissing Booth, and it is a kind of a pinky fuchsia kind of a shade. And I'm going to start off with that because I'm just going to kind of sketch out my design a little bit. And I'm going to use it with the warm color Kissing Booth so that the undertone of my painting, the main focal point, the flowers, the vase, that's all going to have a warm undertone. So that just means that it is a color with a red base. So the little hat that I'm wearing would be considered warm. Your cooler colors are like your blues and purpley shades and that sort of thing. Hi, Christine. How are you? Kate is in the house. Kate is here from Ontario. So glad to see you, Kate. And Amy is here. She's from Mama Bear Blue, and she's considering joining the club. So I'm so happy about that. All right, so I'm going to just grab this really long brush right here, and I'm going to dip it in a little bit of water, and then I'm just going to start sketching a little bit. Hello, Bobby. Shirley is here from Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of do some rough sketching, you guys, and this is just really to kind of set yourself up with your composition, kind of so to speak. And And so I'm going to start right there with some movements. Let's see, I can see maybe something coming out here. Maybe I have a different kind of a flower here. So this is just the very, very beginning stages. A lot of people get afraid of this first underpainting is really what it's called. So don't be afraid of this part. Have fun with this. This part, you know, you can take if I had a marker or something, you can scribble things out on it. You know, it's really just we're getting warmed up here, and this part in particular is I'm just really setting up my structure. And the fancy name is your composition, but it's the structure, and it is just making sure everything is kind of lined up, kind of how you want it. And I'm kind of thinking my flowers up along here are going to be shaped a little bit differently than my flowers on the inside here. Maybe we have, you know, some leaves kind of coming down and around. So we're just kind of setting this up right now so that it kind of pleases our eyes a little bit. Are there any questions while I'm talking here as I'm sketching? Please do not hesitate. I'm here to answer all your questions. This is your last day to get into the Creators Club for this year. You will not be able to get in until next year. This is the last opening of the year. So please, if you're on the fence, just jump in and ask all the questions. So this is Christine, who has been a member in the group now for over a year. And she says it's amazing, very supportive and very encouraging. Christine, the pieces that you have been putting out the last couple of days, you've really been working hard, and man, I love what you're doing, girl. I'm loving it. Loving what I'm seeing out of you. So I'm so glad to see you in motion and getting yourself busy painting. So this is kind of what I'm thinking right now. And I'm good with that. So I've got my main composition set up. This is kind of my main focal point. And then I've got my little basic shape here of my little picture. I'm thinking like maybe there's going to be something down here. Not sure what yet. Maybe it's a flower or petals or something that has fallen down. So we'll figure that out as we work on it. And if you have suggestions of what you'd like to see, maybe it's a color, maybe your favorite color of flower. I'm thinking about, obviously I'm going with some pink shades, some warm shades, but I'm thinking about pulling up into some lighter tones, light peaches, so pinks, light peach colors, maybe some lacy white color, and maybe a little bit of soft yellow worked in. Off the top of my head, that's what I'm thinking. Tell me what you're all doing today. Are y'all watching football? I mean, it's Sunday. I imagine there's games going on out there. It's great therapy. It absolutely is. It absolutely is great therapy. And we talk a lot about art therapy in the Creators Club because we do intuitive art every month in there, and that is very, very therapeutic. It's very much art therapy, the intuitive art. So, and we do kind of discuss different things of that nature. So, okay, I'm feeling pretty happy about this. How are you all feeling? Suzanne Bowshire is in the house. She is also a member. Thanks for hanging out. She says she's watching a movie right now. And there's my friend Betsy. She is also in the group. Betsy is from Colorado. And the wonderful thing about the group is that we get to meet these people from all over the United States and beyond. We have a few people from Australia in there. We have Reyes that's in there. Actually, she's not in there right now. She's on leave. She's on leave right now, but she lives in Spain. She's in process of moving from England to Spain right now. So she has that going on. There's Marie. Marie Kennedy is another member. All right, so I think I'm just looking to see if I want to change my brushes. I think I'm just going to stick with this large brush right here. And I think I will put some other colors on my palette here. So right now I'm using Kissing Booth with the DIY clay-based paint. Let's see, I feel like there needs to be something like maybe in here. Whoops! Oh, I just dripped paint on my bib overalls. Whoopsie! So that happens. I'm just going to take that paint right off of my bibs, and I'm going to put it right on my canvas, and that's how we're going to deal with that. What do they call that? Happy accident? This is a color called Persian Red. This is just Master's Touch. Master's Touch is a student grade acrylic paint. Okay, there are different grades of paint. You can try different grades. The Liquitex is a little bit better, I feel, than the Master's Touch. You can try them both out. Master's Touch, there's usually really great sales on the Master's Touch. Long story short, so that is why, I have a lot of that on hand because sometimes it's just a matter of what you can get a hold of. Amy is asking, how many members are in the club? We are at a modest size, so we have about, I'd say we're at maybe like 110 to or so. It's not a huge group, so we're still, we're very personable in there. It's not hard to get help. So you shouldn't have any issues getting in there. I'm very active in there. I'm just going to kind of fill in some of these areas here. And if you notice, I'm holding my brush. See how I'm holding it pretty far back on my, the handle. That kind of causes me to paint kind of loosely. So I kind of want to have some loose strokes in here. This is really just my bottom undertone. I'm not putting a whole lot of thought into it. I just dripped right there. We're not worrying too much about any of this right now. In fact, we can kind of paint real wet if you want to. If you paint kind of wet, it causes it to drip, and I'm okay with that. I kind of like the drips, and some of my members may not. You don't have to paint like I do. In fact, I encourage you not to paint exactly like me, because I am trying to get you to find your own artistic fingerprint, is what I've been calling it. I want you to find your own jam. What makes you happy? If drips do not make you happy, then do not do the drips. I'm in there to work with you and try to find, like, what your secret sauce is, right? What is your marks that your hands are drawn to? What is it that, without thinking, that you love to do? We do a lot of florals in the group because we love to do florals, so we naturally go that route. That's something that is just a lot of us in the group we are naturally drawn towards. So let's see a lot of florals in the group. Let's see, you guys. How long? The group, I've had it at least 2 years, if not longer. So there are 2 years worth of classes in the vault in there. And I'm just gonna go through and gonna like lay some of this paint on, trying to work quick so that it can kind of start to set up these flowers. I'm not real sure. This one's kind of getting maybe this has a couple little clusters maybe. These are little clusters is what I'm thinking. And that just kind of evolved naturally on its own right now, right? These clusters, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go back in and let's just fill this in with a little bit of warmth. Right now I'm going to grab some of my water and just fill some of this in real loosely. Is anybody out there painting along with me? I know this wasn't something that I advertised to paint along, but you could absolutely grab your paints and start painting if you want to. We do use a lot of different brushes in there. We use knives. We use paint knives. We use our fingers a ton. Sometimes your brushes cannot do what your fingers can do. Okay, so we play around with that. We do a lot of finger painting. We do a lot of half and half. Sometimes we'll start out with our brush, and then we end up throwing our fingers in there. I'm going to pop this up here. You know, we just kind of play around with a lot of different things, don't we, ladies? All right. If any of you that are members want to add anything about the group, tell the ladies how the group has changed your techniques, maybe. How has it helped you? If it has helped you, by all means, let them know. I'm kind of good with this. I'm liking where this is going. So what I think I'm going to do now is I think I'm going to add a little bit of darkness to get some depth in here. Oh, thank you, Christine. She says she likes my little hat. This is something new in the studio. These are messy bun hats. Thank you so much. Hi, Miss Judy. She says, oh, pretty reds. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. And if you could just take a minute, all of you, and sprinkle the love out, that would be awesome. That helps me grow as a small business. Sometimes it's really hard. The algorithms are changing. We all know all the changes that are going on with Facebook. And so it just helps having all of you and your support. Yep. Thank you for the care button and all of that. All of those little hearts and buttons that you push and comments, that all helps my algorithm, and it helps more people get in touch with their artistic side, and that's really what it's all about, is reaching those people. I feel like art has helped me throughout my life, just from even being down. If you're down, it keeps you up. If you're lonely, it gives you a connection. That's why I created the Creators Club, was because of that personal connection. There's a lot of people that are lonely. There's a lot of people that need just friends to paint with. And a lot of us that we have just become that. We've just become these friends, and we hang out and paint. So, hi. Let's see. We're all super supportive, encouraging, advice. Here's Judy. She says, I'm a beginner and I'm thinking of joining, but I am afraid it's more advanced. No, this is for all levels. So I have, when you join, Judy, there are different classes, and I have it set up so there are beginner levels, and it's called Splatter and Chatter. So if you're familiar with the step-by-step painting classes, that's how I set it up with, like, and I even break down the shapes. So you would start by building, so to do a floral, I would say we're going to make a circle, and I basically take you stroke by stroke through the process. I promise you, you will love it. And I do, there are no, long term. If you get in there and you're not growing and you're not loving it, you're always free to leave. But my hope is that you get in there and I'm going to show you you can paint, and I'm going to walk you through it. And you're going to be so proud of yourself, and we're all going to be so proud of you. The ladies in there are beautiful, beautiful ladies, and man, they are just so happy when they see one of their art sisters grow, and they help each other in there. So if you're not part of a group like that, there's nothing like it. I just, it has become so much more than what I ever thought it would be. So yeah, so I highly recommend giving it a try. Um, Christine says, no, not at all. Don't be afraid. She's saying, don't be afraid. Hello, Kathy Miller's in the house. Yes, yes. Let's see. Christine says, I was using my fingers last night with my paintings. I loved it. Brushes, palette knife, then fingers. That's awesome, Christine. Marie Kennedy says, we are also going to be doing safari animals soon. Exactly. So what Marie is talking about while this is drying, we just had our live in-person retreat, which we started this year. And we all, at the end of the retreat, we took an extra day and went on safari at the wilds. And we have beautiful photos. So we will be doing some animal paintings coming up in November, so it should be pretty fun. And if it so happens that we are on a painting that's a little more difficult for you, all you have to do is jump over into the beginner classes. And I have everything in a guide when you go in there. So you just go into the beginner classes, hang out and watch with us, because that's how you learn. I want you to watch and get to know the ladies and chime in and talk, ask questions. But if you feel like it's over your head, you're going to go over to the beginner classes and work on those while you're getting yourself up to speed and getting comfortable with those beginner classes, okay? Hopefully that answered that question. Yes, we are, Bets. We are sisters in this group and love seeing each other make progress and grow. We so do. Okay, let's do some darker. And I think I'm going to pull, I don't know why, I just intuitively, and we talk about intuitive moves an awful lot. This is an intuitive move. So I just kind of grabbed this gray purple. Don't know why, but that's going to start to get blended into some of these flowers. I just intuitively grabbed that. So I'm going to have that on the side to use. Rhonda Dunn, we would love to have you. How do you sign up? I am going to, thank you for asking. I didn't even tell you all that, did I? So there is a link that I just put in, and you will go to girlupcycledstudio.com and you'll go to where it says Creators Club. Super easy. You join there. What happens after you join? After I get off of here, if I see that you've joined, I will send you a link to our private group. Okay. And I'm doing this all by myself this time because my VA's on retreat right now. So if I don't get right to you, I will. So please be patient with me or just inbox me. Okay. So it's girlupcycledstudio.com, and you're going to go to up at the bar where it says Creators Club. Yeah. Real easy. Let's see. Judy says, I probably know some of your members, which would be nice. Would I just sign up on your website? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And Christine says, yeah, your name looks familiar. Yeah, you're going to love them. Come in and give it a try, Judy. Like I said, there is no long-term commitment. If you get in there, you're welcome to leave. There's no, I have people that have left for financial reasons and then they've come back. So actually during this opening, I've had quite a few of my older members come back in. So they've had things that happen in their family, and life is like that, you guys. I get it. I really do. Okay. I'm going to get started with some dark. What do I want? I think I want, oh darn it. Let's see. I really want my Bohemian Blue, but I seem to be out of it right now. Let me go with, let me find something a little bit deeper, darker here. I don't know if I want something quite, I've got some raw umber. That might be a little bit too dark, but I may mix it with something. So let me just get a little bit on my plate. This is Master's Touch I'm using. Kathy says, I don't know if it's on my end, but every so often there's a 10-second pulse when I watch you live. Oh, I'm so sorry. Would everybody let me know if they're having any trouble with that? I hope not. Goodness. You know what? Maybe I should use red ochre. I think I know. I just changed my mind. Let me use some red ochre. Christine, she says hers is okay on her end. Okay. Perfect over here, says Bets. Marie says I'm good. All right. You might want to go out and come back in. Hi, Miss Pam Dudley. How are you today? Good to see you. So I just put some red ochre. So I'm staying with the warmth, right? So, but it is going to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to put some dark in there. Let's just do this. And let's just kind of put some dark on these little twigs and stuff too. Just dark. Oops, I accidentally put it in my pink. I'm great. We went to a costume party last night and we had so much fun. The owners down the hall at the brewery, they do a great costume party every year. And it was so much fun. It's just nice to feel normal again, right? Dare I say, feel normal. All right. So I'm going to put some darkness under here. And you can already tell I've not done anything special. You can tell I just smushed it in there. There's no detail in it at all. But you can already see, because of the dark that I put in, there is some depth now inside, right? Inside the artwork, right? So you can kind of go through and put some dark strokes here and there if you want. And it will translate as deep shadows that are dark within your painting. And I'm just, like I said, you guys see, I'm just kind of tapping it in there. I'm not really doing anything too special. Yeah, it was fun. Christine says, I loved your costumes. So, if you follow me over on Instagram, you will see probably, a little bit of my pictures from last night. We had a lot of fun. All right. Now, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and just, let's just go ahead and add like some dark over here. I don't know. We're just playing right now still. Adding some dark. Very loose. I'm just holding it right here at the end. I hope you all can see. This is something new I've been trying with the whole split screen. So I hope you're all having fun and hope you're able to see a little bit better. No, Betsy, you've been putting out some awesome stuff here too that I've been seeing. I feel like the ladies are really coming into their own. So can you see the depth that it has now? All the dimension. All right. What did I dress up as? I was just this funky disco girl, which I kind of am already, so it worked. It worked. Yeah. All right. So I think I'm good with that. So what I think I'm going to do now, because I'm thinking about how wet all of this is right now. So I'm looking at my painting, and you know what is dry is my background. So I'm going to go in and start using a little bit of background color. And I think I'm going to use Viridian, which is this beautiful color. If you use the DIY paints, I often use Old 57, which is very similar to this. And I think I'm going to switch my brush over now at this point. I'm going to grab the Assistant. This is called the Assistant, and it is just a flat top. These are the Paint Pixie brushes that I carry from the Turquoise Iris collection. If you do need a good collection for starters, if you're starting off, I sell a starter pack and they're wonderful. You'll love these brushes. So we're going to go ahead, and I just dipped into water, and I'm going to dip into my paint here, and I'm just going to start painting. I'm going to throw it over on my sides as well. And I'm just kind of doing this little crisscross section. Now, if you want it smooth, you can paint it smoother than what I'm doing. Something I've been trying to do anyway is allow my brush strokes to remain, okay? It seems like, you know, when we're starting out learning how to paint, and we kind of get in this habit of blendy, smoothie. So I'm just trying to kind of train myself to allow some of these brush strokes to remain. It gives it a little more of a painterly kind of a look. Let's see. So again, I'm going to drop this. This is just the link that you go to join the club. This is the last day of this year to get into the club, you guys. So if you miss this time, then it won't be till next year that you could get in. The reason that I do that, I know some people do not close their groups and that's fine. But for me, it doesn't work well because I really want to have time to get to know everybody that's in there and nurture them and work with all of them. And so that's very hard to do when you have people coming and going all the time, right? Does that make sense? Add a little more water. So my brush is starting to pull a little bit. So when it starts pulling, that tells me that I need a little more water. So some things that are on the agenda coming up, I'm going to be going over some color theory at some point here soon. That was requested. There is a color theory class already in the vault, but I do like to, keep up with, new classes on things and go over things again, right? And it's good for myself as well to do that, right? Looks like there's comments coming in. How much is it? I'd love to join. It is $27 a month, and I come in every Tuesday live for a new class. So I don't know of too many groups that are doing that. Most groups you get, like maybe one class a month, one new class a month. But I do show up religiously every Tuesday and I do a new class. You do not have to be there for the live class. It's recorded live, but it's there for you when you're ready. Okay. So you can be there if you want, if you're able to be, but I'm not going to come hunt you down. If I don't hear from you for a while, I may reach out and say, hey, you okay? Haven't seen you, girl. You okay? But I'm not going to bug you. I might check on you, but I won't bug you. And, and a lot of times when I do that, people are, like, oh, they've lost a loved one, or, that's how we find out things about our sisters. We care for them, and we can be like, hey, this or that happened, and we're having a rough time, Everybody needs a little extra love and a little extra prayer sometimes, right? So I'm just using this brush as I'm going in between the petals, and I'm just pushing from the side view. I'll just work my brush in there. But I think this color is really going to pop, right, against the florals that I'm going to do. The classes are approximately an hour and a half long, okay? So a lot of times I get in there and I get them started, much like I'm doing right now, although I will have a lot more instruction inside the group than what I'm doing right here because I'm really just kind of doing a demo for all of you. But I give them instruction, I get them started, and then depending on the size and the amount of painting that I'm doing, I may finish the painting. Like sometimes I go on my public page. So like if I don't get it all done with them, I might say, if you want to continue watching, hop over on my public page and I will do some of the finishing highlights or something. And that just gives my public page, the people that follow me, a little bit of fun and gives them, lets them know what we're doing inside there and kind of have fun with that little gnat away. All right, so but we do work in layers like this. We work all around the canvas. I do tend to work in larger canvases. I think this is like a 16 by 20. So this is maybe like the smallest that I usually use. once in a while we'll do smaller stuff. I do recommend everybody gets a journal that comes in. They need to get a journal, an art journal. That's very important for those that are wanting to get their bodies in motion and get used to painting. A lot of times a great big canvas is too much for people to take. So just having a journal page and knowing like, oh, I have to do is a little bit in my journal. But that gets them running and it gets them warmed up and it gets them like wanting more, you know. I want them to get out of their comfort zone. And so I do that with little baby steps sometimes. So the journals are good for that. The journals are also great for just practicing brush strokes that you're having trouble with. You know, if you're having trouble with flowers, get in that journal and just start doing strokes with, you know, flower strokes. Simple as that. Yay! We got a new member, everybody. Judy just joined. Welcome. Welcome to the club, girl. I hope you love it as much as we all do. We have a lot of fun in there, don't we, ladies? So I'm just adding even a little bit deeper, darker colors right here. Mary says, yay! Mary is actually one that had to leave. She was taking care of parents and she had things going on, and now she's back again. We're so happy to have her. Christina saying, welcome. Welcome, Judy. We love that you're in there. So I've got a darker color. So I'm going to do a little bit, do some darker colors in here. So you can see we have a pretty nice little painting going on here already I don't even have a ton of, details in it, right? We've just been doing layers, layer after layer. Christine says, I love practicing in my journal. Kelly, Betsy's asking a question. 27, yes, $27 a month. I decided not to raise my prices. I know that's not normal, and I know my coaches are probably cringing right now. Hello, you know who you are. If you are my coaches, they're probably cringing. But I chose not to raise my prices because COVID, and I really, especially during lockdown, we still are not out of it. We have people in the group that are in Australia that are still in really tight lockdowns. And I just really want it to be affordable for everybody. And I feel like there's a lot of people, like I said, they're lonely during the lockdowns. And I really I want it to be affordable, and I want them to have a safe place to go that is fun, and a place that they look forward to, and a place that comforts them. So I chose not to raise my prices against my coach's advice. But they have great advice though, and I probably will raise my prices maybe next year. So that being said, if you are on the fence, you should get in, because if I do raise my prices next year, you want to get locked in. You will get locked into this. Oh, Judy says, I closed my furniture booth today after 8 years. I need art and I need to be creative. So I'll learn how to paint a different way. Absolutely. That's exactly what you'll be doing. Yes. And that was from Judy. So she just signed up. Welcome aboard, Judy. We're so happy to have you. Christine says, honestly, it's the best money I spent on your stuff. It really is. It's very little I don't, like I said, I don't know many people that go in and teach that many classes a month. And I don't know that I'll always do that down the road, you guys. It's a lot coming up with content every single week. But I love it, and I'm dedicated to it. I'm very dedicated to it. So um, Marie says, so true, Kelly, and we are very grateful that you're doing this for us. You were so considerate, as usual. Thank you, Marie. I love you. So I got to meet Marie and Betsy both at our live retreat. So I just added that. Let me just tell you what I'm doing here. I'm using gray purple. Remember I said I just intuitively grabbed that. I'm going to work that into a little bit of the color here. And let's see what happens. I don't know. We'll just play. We'll just play and see. See what happens here. It's going to give it a little bit of a yummy blue base in it now. So we'll see. And I'm watering it down a little bit too. Woohoo! Rhonda just signed up. I need motivation. Girl, we will motivate you. Did you hear that, ladies? We have it. We have it. Rhonda, we're going to call you out now. Okay? Because it's typed. It's typed out. The whole public sees. Now we're all going to be like motivating you. We're going to be like, girl, you said you needed motivation. No, we very lovingly nudge each other, right? Very lovingly. True. Let's see, what else? I'm liking it. Do you like the blue tone that I just added? Very supportive, right? It's like self-care, right? It's way cheaper than therapy. I will tell you that. Because I thought I was going to need that through this whole pandemic thing. Let me just tell you. Still, no joke. It was just the strangest thing. I'm going to go ahead and go over some of that dark. I went right over that dark, and then I'm going to take a clean brush, and I'm going to just kind of like make some strokes into. Here we go. So that we can kind of come through there and see that. All right, let's do a little blendy, a bit of blending right here. And then I think I'm going to move into some lighter shades. I said I wanted to use some shades that have like maybe some light color. Like, so I'm going to say like yellow tones and whites is probably where I'm going to go towards. Maybe peachy corally. So let's go ahead and get some white. This is titanium white. This is again Master's Touch just because it's so cheap and on sale. So it is student grade. You want a better grade. A better grade would probably be Liquitex, and even a better grade than that, higher grade would be Golden. Golden is one of probably the best out there that I can get my hands on. There is a new one coming out. I don't know if you all have heard. The Turquoise Iris is coming out with her own professional grade acrylic paints. So they are tweaking everything and making sure, you guys, if you know Dion, you know how precise she is, and her products are going to be spot on. And that is when we will get them. We will get them in as soon as everything is spot on. And that's why I love her. And that's why I carry her products. So, all right. So I will be having that in at some point. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Somebody just signed up. Amy. Amy just signed up. Woohoo! Welcome, girl. Welcome. Christine says welcome. Delisa. Awesome. Wish that were me. I just ate a container of barbecue. What are you talking about? It's so funny. I'm cracking up. Let's see, looking forward to her paints. Me too. Yes, Judy says, yes, I just saw that she was coming out with new paints, so I cannot wait. I've been bugging the you know what out of her. She's probably like, get off of me, girl. I told you, I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm like, I'm sorry to bother you again, but I'm so excited. You know. Hey, you know what? That's my thing. I get excited about paint supplies. Some people are into shopping. I get like that over paint supplies and junking. Oh shoot. Yes, Amy, great question, and thank you so much for that. She's asking if there's a dedicated Facebook page for the group. Absolutely, there is. For right now, I house the entire group in the classes right on Facebook. Okay. Funny story is the last opening that I had a gal join, and she didn't have a Facebook page, and she didn't realize it was on Facebook. And so she actually joined Facebook so she could just be in the group. So I thought that was pretty amazing that she did that. I would, and I am searching for a program that I can afford to where I can house it all on my website. As I grow, that's something that I'm working with my coaches. We're working on this, and they're giving me advice. And one in particular is giving me advice, great advice, and I'm just searching right now, trying to figure out what's best for me and my group. So, all right. Let's see. Betsy said she was motivated. I know, right? Now, I can't guarantee that it's going to motivate you to get on the treadmill, but I will tell you, Betsy has been like, girl, I'm going walking. Are you walking? So we do, even though it's an art group, we are doing things like that. Like, have you walked today? Did you drink enough water today? So it's kind of like an all over support group, and I love where it's going. I mean, it is just a matter of self-care and making sure everybody's like, are you taking care of yourself? Norma says, I'm with you. I'm just waiting on this stuff to dry. She says, I'm with you. I don't get excited about shoes, but paint, oh my goodness. Well, if I get excited about boots, though. I have a boot thing. I'm giddy the same way. No drug could ever replace the feeling I get when I get new art supplies or a yard sale. Right? See? You're our people. This is our people. Catherine, we were just talking about you. So Catherine is the member that is from Australia. I think we have two ladies from Australia. And Catherine is one of them. And so she joins us, and it's morning for her, and she's drinking coffee and hanging out and watching the class. She'll do the class later, but she'll hang out, drink coffee, and talk to all the ladies. And we all just love Catherine, and we all get updates of how things are going in Australia and give her love and send her prayers and any support that she would need, you know. When I go to yard sales and find art supplies. That's icing on the cake. That sounds like a meme that I need to make. Delisa. Couldn't you just see that as a meme? We would all be sharing it because we all know it's true. Catherine says, absolutely, got my coffee. Right on, girl. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. I've got my white on here. I've been gabbing so much with y'all. I'm having a lot of fun with y'all today. Can I just say? Let's use, I will say, I do use a ton of DIY paints inside my art, but I'm just using I'm using some raw sienna right now, which is a golden, yummy golden color. But I'm just using mostly acrylics for right now. Now see, this is Grumbacher, and this is a better grade. And you can almost tell when you're squirting it out on your little pan about what kind of grade it is. It just has a smoother flow to it. It's hard to explain, but once you start painting and using different paints, you will definitely understand, like, oh, this is a craft paint, or oh, which I am not a paint snob by any means. So I am all about get what you can afford and upgrade as you feel you need to, or as you can afford. Because I am like, grab your kids' paints and crayons if you must. That's how I feel about that. But I'm just trying to explain the difference between a student grade versus a professional grade. There's definitely a feel that you get, and there's coverage. There's the coverage of it is different, right? All right, so let's see what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna go in here with a bit of this raw sienna, and I don't know, where do I want to just do? Let's put it right in here. I'm using the same brush. I don't always use the same brush, but when I do, I let you know. So I'm using this, turning it rather than flat like I was, I'm turning it to the side so that I can put more of like a petal kind of a look in there, right? So this is going to be coming this way. And I'm just kind of pulling it in. So that's kind of popping. It's a little more golden, right? I like that. Our Aussie friend, she's on cup number 2. Oh, Judy, she's got a question. Not to change the topic, but I'm loving your horse painting in the background. So that's an interesting comment, because let me see. The horse painting back there is inside the Creators Club. So you can get in there and go to that painting and learn how he did that. Okay? And I am right there for you if you need me. I will tell you, when you're inside the group, all you need to do is tag me, and I kind of want to go into James Taylor. If you just call out my name, I'll come running. It's kind of like that, but I won't sing for you. But do you guys do that when you're talking and a song comes in and you want to break out of the song? I was really bad when I was a kid with that, because I'd be in the middle of a conversation and somebody would say something and I'd start singing. It was very annoying, I'm sure, to anybody trying to have a conversation with me. It's the ADD part. What are you going to do? I've learned to control that. It isn't easy. It's like, it's a fight. I have to control it. Leslie, first Friday this week. Yeah, it is first Friday. Yep, I'm always open for first Friday. Yep. Always there. You gonna come see me? Come say hi. I just took, I don't know if you noticed, but I just dabbed a little more light color, and I'm just gonna go in and put some more little strokes using the side of my brush, right? So we're getting, like I said, it's got a warm base to it because we put that warm color in there. But then we're coming up with some of our golds, right? It's kind of turning it into a really pretty, fall shades. Let's see. Whoops, that's not what I meant to hit. Let's see. I meant to hit that. Judy says, wow, I will take that challenge once I learn more. Yep. And you know what? And that's the thing too. I have had, especially there's one painting in particular that the ladies really, really loved. And it was, ladies, those of you in the club, it was one where it was another floral, but it had deep purple flowers and it had this turquoise vase with gold, and everybody loved that one. And some of them painted that quite a few times because they weren't feeling like they were getting it very well. So you can go back and redo the classes. So there's that. Those of you that, especially if you're newer here and you're still on the fence about joining the group and you're just not sure, and you're waiting, you can always catch some different things over on my YouTube channel. So I share different things over there. My YouTube channel is mixed with art as well as furniture art, right? So let me give you a little bit of a close-up of what I just did there. Just putting in those little brush strokes. But, my goal, you guys, I want to get you in there, and I want to get you, I want to get you started on, we're going to figure out what level you're at. And I want you to remember, everybody's at the beginning at some point in their life you're a beginner. You can't always be, like, there are people way, way further ahead of me. They are masters, and they're in the most well-known art galleries, and they're professors, and they're all the things. We all have places that we're at, right? Give yourself the permission to learn. Give yourself time. Everybody's so hard on themselves, I feel, when they're learning, including myself. Sometimes I have to remind myself this as well. This is almost looking like a dahlia, I would say. And I am painting pretty precise right now. This is very much how I would teach. This would be probably very different than, I do a lot of abstract florals, a lot of movement and drippy. So right now I'm just kind of showing you how I teach inside the group. I kind of give you distinct instruction, and then I push you. Like for me, when I start giving this my own kind of flavor, it's going to have movement, it's going to have runs, it'll have all kinds of stuff like that going on. So yeah. Okay, so I feel as though let's go ahead with some, what did I miss something? I think I did. Oh, Catherine. She says the group is truly the best thing I've done for myself, and it has opened up my creative self again. That's awesome. I love that. Thank you for that. Suzanne's liking what she's seen. Leslie says, I will say it is a great group. I'm a past member and it's awesome. Kelly is a great teacher. Yeah, and Leslie is a local So I know her personally, and she is a Hobby Lobby worker. So I see her like every single week, don't I? She probably gets tired of seeing me, and love her. Love you, Leslie. So, and she's so busy. I don't know how much time she has to create anymore. Betsy said you can go over to my page. More stuff than not is from the group. Yeah, so that's Betsy Kelly Designs. A lot of her artwork that she's sharing are different things that we have done inside the group. Hello, Robert. I think you said to call you Rob, right? Frequent flyer. Yeah. Thank you. All right, so let's get painting. I'm just kind of talking while I'm waiting on this stuff to dry. But if you notice the little layers that I added, I think it looks kind of good. I'm thinking like I didn't really go into it to be a dahlia, but I am thinking it looks like a dahlia. So we're gonna go with that. And a lot of times that's kind of how I paint. I don't always necessarily know going into it like what it's gonna be. I would definitely say that's what that's looking like. Wet my brush down a little bit more. I'm really liking them. It's a little bit messier of a brush stroke when you add more water, but that's kind of my style. I kind of like it a little bit messier. And if it drips, then that's all the better. Rob it is. Rob, I need to get back with you too. Just remembered when I saw your name pop up. Gorgeous. I may need that in my newly painted bathroom. Aw, thank you for the sprinkles. That is how we support each other, isn't it? It's really hard to get out there, isn't it, gang? Very hard. Very, very hard. All right, so I've got a little bit of this rouge, which I think I'm going to mix with the Kissing Booth. And then I'll probably even start adding some white to it too, so that we can get some good movement going on. The vase is going to change a good bit, so never fear. What is everybody getting into? Did we talk about that? Did you guys say you were? I know Suzanne was watching a movie. So nice quick strokes are kind of good. For getting a kind of a nice loose flower. Thank you guys. Last day, if you're just tuning in, this is the very last day to get into the membership group. So please don't hesitate if you're on the fence, gang. Because I always, every time I get it, I always get a message from somebody saying, can I still get in? And then it's after the doors have closed, and then I feel really mean. Hiding from trick-or-treaters. Kate, you're cracking me up. Are you really? I'm just going to add a few little drippies. You notice there? So dipping into the water. And then I'm just going to let that kind of go. I just kind of like that. Just kind of something that I like. We don't judge, no judgment. Give them some salad. They'll love you for that. I saw this meme and I sent it to my daughter. It was so funny. It was like a little mini sized salad and it said, worst trick or treater ever, or worst gift ever, worst, I don't know, worst thing to give out. I thought it was so funny. How close can you get to the painting with your camera? I'm just wondering. Just need to come a little bit closer. See if I can do that. Doo-doo-doo. How about that? Is that better? And then if you want a close up, I can always like go up right here so you can see the little dahlias that I put in. It kind of gives you a little bit better. Haha, yes, the weather is terrible here. We don't get very many. The center of flowers, I can't wrap my head around them. I can't wait. Let's see what she's saying. I can't wait to see some of the group videos to have a better understanding. Yeah, that is something that our members love, are the floral classes, and some people struggle with it, and I keep just we keep going over, and it's really about, Judy, the layers. I did dark layers and I'm coming up and I'm doing some lighter layers, so that's going to allow the depth, and I think that's what you mean, and I think that's what you're missing maybe is a little bit of depth, right? I have a feeling that that's, so I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to add a little bit of white, and I'm going to show you that these strokes right alone are going to add, right now, it looks like I've just added, right? Just added some petals in there is what it looks like. So that was just because all of those layers. Most times in the group when people are like, why can't I get this? It's like, well, because it's not finished. Okay. So a lot of times they are maybe getting some of those base coats on or underpainting in there, but they're not going in and finishing up with any of these highlighted layers. Okay. So that's what we're going to work with. We will work with you on all of those things. So you just simply tag me. If you are on, so let's say you're in there and you're going to do a class that is pre-recorded, you would just simply tag me if you're having trouble. Oh, and something else that I do that I find really, really helpful, ladies, if you're in the group and you find it helpful, please chime in. That is, I do digital touch-ups. So let's say you were working on this and you're stuck. Like, I can't get this flower to look right. I would do a digital, I would take a picture of it, and then on my computer, I would make digital touches so that when I explain, like, oh, you need to go, deeper tone here, or maybe we're working on figures. We've done figurative too, and I would say, oh, the line, the jaw line needs shaped differently, or whatever the case may be. That's kind of gives you a good kind of a feel for how that is done, how I work. I've had to really, because I used to do a lot of like local classes, just beginner classes, but this group has become just so much more because we're not just stuck in the beginner classes. We are branching out and we're doing all the, we're growing. Everybody's learning their own artistic fingerprint is kind of what I call it. They're kind of learning their own jam, so to speak. Okay, I'm going to like get a little bit of I'm just taking the raw umber and I'm mixing the same brush, same colors, and I'm mixing a little bit of the raw umber in with it. So it's going to warm up the middle right here just a little bit. And this one's a little bit. I'm going to teach you how to angle your flowers too. I teach that in there. Oh, I love the drips, says Kate. Thank you, Kate. I love that you love the drips. And a lot of times I use my fingers a lot, guys, I will say. It almost feels foreign to me when I can't get in there and use my fingers. Okay, so I have a couple. I'm going to start working my way out. Betsy says, I love this. Thank you, Bets. I love that you love this. Okay, I'm going to drop, let's see, I'm going to drop that banner in. So, you guys, this is the last day to join the Creators Club. This is the link that you need to go to. Just go to girlupcycledstudio.com and then you'll see up on the bar, you're going to go to where it says Creators Club and you join right there. Easy peasy. It's a subscription fee of $27 a month. And I show up every Tuesday and we paint. We paint together. Okay, I'm going to grab the round brush here. And because I feel like I need some other, maybe little scribbles. Something getting me here. A little gnat flying around. So I don't know if I want that color. So I'm just kind of feeling like I often like to paint off of the page. I call it off. It's really off the canvas. I like to paint off the canvas. This little gnat, tell ya, this is that gray purple color. I'm just going to use that just to kind of loosen this up a little bit. I like my flower arrangements full. I like them to have a lot of things coming out of them. So I'm going to put these up here. Let's see. All right. So I think about a good place to add, start adding some green. How long have I been on here? We're over an hour, so we're good. This is about how I do my classes too, so we'll probably be at, an hour and a half. Sometimes I run over into the 2-hour point, but love your format for your lives. Easy to follow. I love that you love it, Rob. Awesome. I'm glad that you're here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some green on here, and I'm probably going to want to let's use this. This is chromium oxide green. Again, it's just Master's Touch. Just Master's Touch. So it's nothing fancy. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna use my knife, I think, for a minute. You know what? Let me start off with the brush first, and then I'll switch over to the knife. Okay. I don't want to scare y'all off. Have y'all used knives before? Paint knives? Are you familiar with that? We'll go right over. Takes a minute, doesn't it? Feed to come through. This might be like maybe it's actually a leaf in there. I'm thinking. Let's do it. I think this is on the leaf. I'm going to push down and I'm going to pull up. See how I just created that quick? I'm pushing down and I'm moving and I'm just pulling up. There you go. There's a leaf. I avoid palette knives. The scratch sound, can't handle it. Oh, okay. So what you could possibly do is, rather than scratching, maybe we put a little bit on the side of it and you just use it to do lines. Okay, I will teach you all that stuff, girl, don't you worry. You can kind of go in and put in. You still have a little bit of a scratchy sound, but it does you can't beat it. And also you can lay it sideways and just kind of lightly pull your strokes over and just lightly touch, and you'll get, gets like some cool effects from that. Let me see if we can do something up here. Pull that in. Enjoy your talent. Thanks, Connie. How are you today? Oh, it's like a chalkboard for me. Oh, I'm so sorry. You're going to have earplugs on for some of our classes, girl. Have it on mute while we do that, huh? That's all right. That is quite all right. Can you hear when as I'm doing it right now? You can just, if you get enough paint on it, you can actually just do a really light touch. You won't even really hear it much. Too funny. We'll work on you. All right. I want to just do some kind of leafy stuff up here. Maybe. Kind of looks like, I don't know. I feel like I need to start brightening some of this up a little bit, though. So this is a very, like, I don't usually I'm all over the place. Like if this was my aunt, like painting just for, like on a big canvas, I would probably be going in and doing a lot of abstract like stuff with my fingers. That's just how I like to paint. So, but I do try to show you guys all the things. Rubber wedges. That is a great idea. I'm quiet. Yeah, the rubber ones will be your friend. Okay, so I would suggest going with that. Let's do a little something. Because I feel as though I just grabbed, this is just a student, this is, well, no, this is Liquitex. It's a little bit better, but, what color is this? It's almost like a cobalt, but I don't think that's what it's called. I can't even see the name. So that's what that is. I'm going to just start working on the little pots here a little bit. So I've got some whites, and I'm going to, what do I want to mix that with? Let's see. It's a little wet right there. I'm just kind of putting in some highlights and things like that right now. Go out there. What are y'all doing today on this Halloween? Other than, was it Kate that said she's dodging? She's hiding from the trick-or-treaters. That was so funny. I really like using my fingers to blend out too. It just gives it a little bit of a softer kind of a shade. Like I said, this is a very kind of a more precise painting than what I normally do. I don't know why I keep feeling like I want to add like a little bit of this dark blue to this for some reason. I don't know why. Just feeling like it needs it. Winterizing, boo. I know. I love fall, but man, I'm not ready for the whole winter thing. Not quite yet, anyway. Well, I'm just painting, working in different shades and colors, and I kind of like that dark, the blue that I've added. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with that. You guys like the blue added? It gives it some nice contrast, doesn't it? So contrast, y'all know, that's just, you know, contrast versus the light background and the dark is all that means. So there again, I'm taking away all my brush strokes. And if you remember when I started, I said what I was working on. Do y'all remember? Were you here for that? This brush is not the best. I said I was trying not to get rid of all of my brush strokes all the time, and I just caught myself blending it out. So I want to stop that. That's just my own personal thing I've been working on. So we all have our goals, and I was explaining how, you know, we're all at levels of learning. So, you know, I never want a person to come in and to feel bad like that they can't join in and paint and do what we're doing, because we're all at different levels, and you're not going to grow your level until you jump in there and get going, right? And I just want you to know it's a safe place. It is a very, very safe, kind, gentle, loving atmosphere. And it is a great place to come and grow and learn. So even though I'm going over top of some of that warm, remember the warm that I put in, it's still showing through. Cold here every night this week. Keep the strokes, says Betsy. South Florida, Christine, 64 here tonight. She's just rubbing it all in, isn't she? Texas doesn't like winter, says Robert. I know. Mary likes the blue. Judy says she's watching football. Oh, you're making gumbo. Oh, that sounds really good. I'm going to make chili this week. It's on. Oops, I did not mean to go light right there. I'm going to flip it over. Hold on. I'm going to change that. Watch me change that. There we go. Boom. Gone. There we go. Yeah, I like the blue. Like. Okay. I'm happy with that. So I feel as though I need to work on these flowers a little bit. Yum, I want gumbo. What time's the gumbo going to be ready? I think you're going to have a house full. So far, I'm loving this. I'm loving the contrast of that light background on it. So just got some green in there. I think I will maybe tap in a little bit of lighter color for the green. I could, if I wanted, just add white, which into my existing green, which I may do. I'm going to get a little bit smaller brush for this. I'm going to get the favorite. And let's see. Let's start with a little bit of white mixed into the existing green. And let's just start kind of throwing in some strokes. This is all just highlight. Can you see okay? This color is really a nice sagey kind of a green. Gumbo in 2 hours. That sounds like a party to me, gang. Should we dress up? Is this a costume party? Nope. She might be like, oh, these people showing up to my house. Like, honey, I joined this group and they're all like showing up to my house. All right. Can you see the highlights that I just added? So that was just the existing green that I was using, which is chrome oxide green. And then I have a brighter, which is called light, just light green. I'm going to take it and I'm just going to add little touches of that. But all these layers, you guys, when you're painting, all these little layers that you put in of the different colors are giving it depth and just dimension. And all the good stuff. Okay, so don't be afraid to work on your colors, building your colors. Okay. We need some more green in there. And add dark to it. This is, I believe, it's in the packs, Leslie. What are those? 16 by 20? Something like that. The big packs that I buy that you see me in there buying all the time. Yeah. I think I'm going to widen this up. So I'm just making adjustments. What a beautiful colors. Thank you. So you can see I'm growing some of my leaves are growing right in front of us, aren't they? I can add a little brown if I want to. Maybe I want it a little bit darker over here on this edge, right? So I just made that a little bit brown on that edge. And you can see I'm not blending. It's very painterly. I'm going to give you a close-up now. So I'm getting towards my top layers. Okay, so these top layers, are going to be where you're going to see the depth. You're going to see the brush strokes. And I'm going to see if I can go sideways. There, you can kind of see some of those strokes right there. Thick, thick layers, okay? As I come forward, I do tend to start painting a little bit thicker as I come forward. So, the brown tip matches my other plants. That's so funny. Oh, oh, oh. Well, but it is realistic. I mean, if you think about it, you know, it's, you know, there's a lot of colors going on inside all the leaves and stuff. It's not about just all one color. And I think that's where people that are just beginning and they give up, I think that's where they get stuck, is they're painting what their mind is telling them a flower looks like, and they're not painting what their eyes are seeing. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So sometimes in our mind, a flower should have 5 perfect petals and should be this perfectly laid out. That is not realistic of how it actually will look, though. If you actually look at flowers, maybe there's only, 4 petals, or maybe there's a ton of them bunched together, right? So I'm going to start working up here. Sorry, my nose is getting itchy. Let's mix some of my white with this. Where'd it go? Titanium white with the Persian red, which is actually kind of a pinky shade. Let's start mixing that together because I want to start brightening some of these other flowers up a little bit. Okay, so let me just clean my brush. Pretty goopy. Thank you. Leslie, have you painted lately? So I'm taking this edge of my brush here, and I'm just tapping into this, okay? So it looks like I'm covering everything that I did, but I'm not. There's going to be little peaks of it that you're still going to see, okay? Have to catch the replay. Okay, girl. I know this is a long one, Judith, isn't it? I'm not usually on my public channel quite this long, but anyway. Now, if I want to, I could take my fingers and start softening this out a little bit. Do you see how that just got a little bit soft? Let's see what happens. Soften it out. And that's something that I kind of do quite a bit. I tap in and then start softening things out. Leslie. Oh, hi, Bobby. Bobby is a member. Let's see. Leslie says, no, I've been making things for donations. I just made trees out of door shims to donate. You are so sweet. Where are you donating them to? Is this like for a specific organization or just on your own because you're awesome like that? This is where a lot of times I get in with my fingers about here. Okay, and start using my fingers, and I'm going to start getting a little bit lighter as I come forward. I don't know if y'all can see that. I may not be able to. No idea what these flowers are, but Looking amazing, says Rhonda. Thank you. She says, I cannot wait to rewatch and paint along. I hope you do. Okay, and those of you, if you are thinking of joining, I believe, Rhonda, tell me, if you have just joined, say, me, I'm a new member. And those of you that are a member, say, me, I'm a member. I believe, Rhonda, you just joined. And those of you on the fence, please don't delay. This is your last day to get in. Last day of the year. I won't open the doors up again this year. Okay. Judy says, me. For Ashley Rambo Hall. Oh, okay, cool. Christine's a member. Rhonda just joined. Oh, that's awesome. You guys, I hope you guys get a lot out of it. We really, what I like about it too is it's not just me teaching y'all either, because everybody helps everybody in there. Everybody has something to give, and new members, you'll learn things, and then you will give back when we get new members in the next time. Deborah just joined. Thank you, Deborah. Awesome. Catherine's a member. Bobby joined. She's a fairly new member. Bobby is fairly new. She just joined in with us the last time we had an opening, didn't you, girl? And she is doing some really amazing stuff. And Bobby, tell them how scared you were. She was so nervous about being there. She was so nervous, and she came to the retreat, and she was so scared when she came in. And I'm like, girl, she laughed more than anybody, I think. Like her and Judy, those girls, they had a blast. There was no fear. Now she'll probably go to all of them, right? Probably go to all of them now. So I think it's just so good when you break through, and I'm just going to start getting messy here. This is kind of how I truly paint. Get a little messy. I think when you break through and you do things that you're afraid of, it just, man, it's such a good feeling, isn't it? Thank you. Bobby says, I was a mess, but it was amazing. I will go to all of them. Everyone was so kind. Yeah, everybody's really nice. It is. It's pretty awesome. So I'm not really sure what I want to do with these two. I feel like it needs to be different colors. What do you think, ladies? These two flowers? Yes, it is. It's freeing when you break through. I'm getting really close to being done with it, but I do feel like I have no layers. So let me just show you, for the people that are new, that are doing this, the difference between, this is a flower that only has like maybe 2 layers to it, compared to these other flowers that have, more layers, more added layers to it. That's kind of tells you. And this one up here, look at the depth that it gave it by me adding the light over top of the dark color on this flower up here in particular. So it really, yeah, I'm really liking it. Really liking it. I feel as though, what color? Coral? Let's see. So it's already coral. So should I go maybe like a brighter? Maybe a little brighter, like maybe a orangey coral orange? What do you think? What do you think? Let's see what we can do here. She's such a, and see, she's so involved now, Bobby. I'm so proud of you. You have just you are just amazing. So let's see what happens when I put like a couple other colors in here. I'm just going to scribble. Let's just scribble. See what happens. Want to scribble in there. Scribble. I don't know if that's actual term. Scribble. So let's just do a close-up, and I'm going to show you what just happened right there. Just those little scribbles. Okay, and let's add just a little touch of orange tone inside that. I think that's going to give it a little bit of a little pop of something in the middle there, right? If I can get it out. I'm starting to get hungry, y'all. That gumbo. Y'all got me hungry. Y'all talking about gumbo. That sounds good. There we go. All right, let's see. Let's just try this. See what happens. All right. So we can change it if we don't like it. You like that little pop in the middle? Warmed it right up. Pop that in there. Let's do a little something here. Yeah, I'm liking it, guys. That's a great idea. What do you think? Oh, it's going to have a really bad glare if I show you this way. So let's show you this way. It's that little pop of really bright orange that I added on the middle of those flowers, right? The only other thing, you know, I would probably add a little touch of something to this down on the ground here. Maybe these are just fallen petals, or we don't really know. Maybe just put a little color down here into that. And then the next thing I would do is to ground it, I would want to maybe put a little bit of shadowing, just a touch. And I would do that with, oh, I don't know, let's use some of that red ochre maybe, or burnt umber, one of those two. Let's just use this since it's close. And I still have a little bit of brown on my plate, so I can incorporate the two. The little dab of white. And then, thank you, Christine. And then I'm just going to add this little background here. A little bit of shadowing, right? Just a little touch. And if it's, and that's going to ground it. So it does it. So if you don't ground it a little bit, it'll kind of look like it's kind of floating in the air. But there are a lot of artists that just do artwork without having it grounded, and there's no right or wrong way. Okay, there really isn't. It's just whatever your style is. I'm just kind of showing you that classically, this is probably what they would classically do, is ground it a little bit. And I'm thinking we're pretty close to done. So how do I sign up, please? Yay, Deborah. Oh, I thought you already signed up. So you will just go to, let's see, let me find it. There we go. So you're just going to follow this link. It's girlupcycledstudio.com. So it's upcycled with the ED, Upcycled Studio. And then you will find right at the top, you'll see it says Creators Club, and you join right there. Join up, and we tomorrow, for those of you coming in, I'm going to do a live orientation tomorrow so that you can find your way around. I like to kind of just talk about the materials that I use, and we talked about that a little bit today already, didn't we? Some of the materials, but I like to do a little orientation. And we'll go through everything, show you how to get around, all that good stuff. Are there any other questions? So now is the time to get in. You will not be able to get in until next year. It's a lot of work opening the doors, and I like to get the new members up to speed and work with them and nurture them. So that's why I do not have the doors open all the time. Okay, in case you're wondering, it gives me time to really spend in the group and nurture them. Judy says, so will you send a email or message how to go into the group? I will. And the one thing I will say is when you sign up, it's through PayPal. So the email will be the same email that you signed up with your PayPal account. Okay. Sometimes people have two different emails. So if you're not finding my message, that's where you will find it. Okay. So I will be sending all of you new members a little message with a link, and we will get you inside the group. Okay. Are there any questions? I mean, there are just like tons and tons of classes in the vault for you to do. So there's work for you as soon as you join, and we add new ones every single week. I am very, very dedicated. Even when I go away on vacation, I think, I've gone live from vacation. I'm very dedicated to this group. This is kind of my heart and soul, and this is where I love to be. So cannot wait to meet you all inside there. So follow the link here, girlupcycledstudio.com. It is $27 a month, and you get a class every week. We go live at Tuesday. It's $27 a month. I have not raised the price since before COVID, and I do not plan on it right now. Now, next year, I may raise it a little bit. So that's something you might want to think about. Let me know. Just DM me if you have any questions, everybody. All right. I hope you enjoyed the painting, and I hope it inspired you to grab those paints and get painting. All right. I'll see you inside the group. All right. Thanks, everyone.